So, what exactly we are going to discuss? One of the common question, little advanced, not so advanced. The question is, while taking logical backup, that means EXPDP, there is a parameter called consistent. So consistent equal to 1. So the question is, tell me the situation when we will be using consistent equal to 1. What is the advantage of it? Okay, so the answer is, first we need to understand what exactly the problem. Okay, the problem, again I'm opening one, and mostly it is having issues while doing database refresh. And database refresh, we need to have some fair idea what database refresh is all about and why we are doing database refresh. For that, let me show you the exact scenario. The scenario is, suppose one database is there, and this database known as SHA prod, means it's a production database. Production database means actual live data is coming here. Live data means, suppose you're working for a bank. So whenever somebody is opening account, all data is going to be there in this database. If your management is looking for any monthly or quarterly report, all data is going to be fetched from this database. So it's a live. If this database is down, maybe lakhs of revenue is getting lost every second. Okay, so refresh means under this particular database, production database, there are n number of objects are there. Specifically, I'm referring to n number of tables. That may be 100, 200, 50, 1,000, depending on the database. Okay, and for that particular, let me copy and paste. For the testing purpose, we used to have, again, this is the standard. It's not my own these things. This is the standard that each and every organization should have two environment minimum. One is dev, one is prod. Dev means whatever testing, modification, any new feature implementation, it's not getting directly done in the production system. It is applicable everywhere in the every layer, maybe development, maybe middleware, maybe database. What we are focused on, we are responsible for Oracle database only for now. That's what we are discussing. So if anything we are implementing new, first it is going to be a test. But this testing should be there on the latest data. But in development, normally what happens? In this, maybe whatever data we are having here of January 24 data. So already 3 months gone. And in last 3 months, gone means the database size, I'm assuming in development, is having suppose 350 or 40 GB. But if you will check in production, database size is already 400 GB. What does it mean? Mean that extra 60 GB data that is not there in development. So 3 months back, production and development both had data 340 only. Because on that time, we made a copy of our production and we have just put it into the development. But now extra 60 GB data is there. That extra data we used to, or we have to have in the development server, database server, so that we can do the testing on the latest data. So the accuracy will be much more higher while doing the testing. And when we are going to do the same thing in the production. The question is, long story short, what exactly refresh activity is? Refresh activity will do what? Whatever the latest data is available in production, we have to have in the development. How we can do? It can be done in two ways, either through RMN activity or through EXPDP, IMPDP activity, or the physical or logical backup, whichever way. Okay. Mostly what we used to do, the logical. Again, it depends, varies organization to organization. Okay. As per my own experience, we used to just do this activity both way. For few databases, RMN, for few databases, EXPDP, IMPDP. So whichever is the case, we need to understand the basic concept. And with the basic concept is this data, whatever is there in production, it should be transferred to dev. But how to do it? So simply, the logical backup, what we are doing. In production, we used to have one main schema. So normally we used to take backup, EXPDP backup of that main schema. We are transferring that dump file from production to development. What next? Next is we are taking backup of development databases. Why? In case needed in future, that's what. And after that, we are doing what? Dropping or the truncating the tables and IMPDP. This is very high level thing I'm sharing with you all. Now, IMPDP is done. It's supposed to have what? 400 GB here. So almost 400 GB should be there in development. And this activity is known as refresh activity. But few challenges are there while doing this activity. One of the challenge, whatever number of database objects we have in production, it should be there in development also, number one. Number two, the number of valid and invalid object in production. Suppose 100 database, 100 objects are there. So all 100 object in production, if it is valid, 100 object in development should be valid. Otherwise, it might be big problem while doing testing. If in production, out of 100, 10 is invalid, 90 is valid. In development also, it should be 10 invalid, 90 what? Valid. But the main challenge, the question, what we are referring here, while doing this activity, logical backup, we used to give EXPDP, whatever user ID, password, dump file, log file, those things, consistent equal to Y. Why we have to give, and if we will not give, what will be the problem? Okay. In next 10 minutes, we are going to discuss this thing. Okay. Now, assume out of 100 table, 2 common table we are going to discuss. And this 2 table is again the famous table. One is AMP table and another is department table. I'm putting DPT. Department table is what? Master table. And employees table is child table. That we know. Now, I'm going to put some data. I'm assuming right now what exactly the time. Time is suppose 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is the time. And you started taking backup. Okay. And consistent equal to y parameter you didn't mention or you didn't just put it. At this point of time, it might happen that department table is having department ID is suppose 10 and department name is HR suppose. Okay. And 20 and one is admin. This was the status at what time? 9 p.m. And the same way here, the employee ID is suppose 1, name is A, and department ID is here also. I'm giving 10. Now, B, I'm giving 10. 3, name is E, I'm giving 20. This was the situation when we started backup. And database backup started, logical backup started. What it did, it took table backup. Which table backup? EMP table and department table. It took backup. Okay. Now, I'm just reframing this question again. It didn't took backup of department table. Okay. It took backup of employee table only. Okay. So at 9 p.m. backup started. First, n number of table took backup along with the EMP table. Okay. And when the EMP table backup is done, so it was there only 3 records. Okay. Now, it used to take maybe 2 hour, 3 hour time. What? For the backup activity. What happened at 10? Because at 9, the backup is already done for which table? Employee table. So no further backup is going to be taken for the employee table. And after that, what happened? Another, this 30 came and somebody have just entered this 30 and the thing is department is IT. What happened? Again, 40, maybe others. These 30, 40 is there. Okay. Now, it finished at 12 p.m. So it took around 3 hours to finish the tables, entire the schemas backup, because we are taking the schemas backup. Now, one twist I'm adding here. Okay. And that twist is I'm having, or let me just conclude here. I'm not going to just put some extra row here. Now, what I'm going to do in next 2R. What happened under this employee table? Maybe this I'm changing the font color. Okay. This record R 4 is there, D is there, maybe 30. 5 is there, E is there. Maybe I'm giving 10. 6 is there, F is there, and here I'm giving some other. Now, these records are there in the table when backup finished, but is this information is going to be there in the backup file? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, that is going to be missing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, same thing, I'm just changing little bit. Same scenario, but I'm twisting the parent table, child table little upside down. So first it took backup of what? Department table. And when it took the department table backup, at what time? At 9 p.m. Very first time it took backup. And after that, 10 onwards, it is going to take. So when it took a backup at 9, department number 10, 20, 30, 40 was there. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Now at 10, what happened? Somebody have inserted some another department. Okay? I'm just giving just sake of special department, SP here. Okay? And dependent the child table like 7, then G, and here it is giving 50. Okay, again 8 is there, H is there, again giving 50. These things are getting entered. Okay, now database backup finished. Now see the scenario in this one. When we took the backup, the master table one record was missing, but in child table all records are coming. 8H50, 7G50. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Now we are transferring this dump file, the second case scenario dump file here. Okay, and it is going to do what? It will import it. So import, when it will do import, what will happen? 10 will go. 10 means what? All record will be there, minus 50. 50 special, this department, this row will not be there, correct?
Yes, sir.
And these entire records will be there, employee tables, all these. But the challenge is when we are going to enable the foreign key, we have idea about foreign key, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is the condition? If foreign key, that means the master record is not available and child is there. Is it going to give permission to enable the or the create the foreign key?
No, sir.
Because the master, that is the this parent record or the master table record is missing, and you are trying to create. It is going to give a problem.
Yes, sir.
So if this is the problem, what will happen? What I mentioned while doing refresh, if production is what 90 valid object and 10 invalid, it should be there in development also. But if this is the case, If we will not able to enable the foreign key, it is going to show us what? Invalid. Number one. Number two, the consistency of data in production and development is going to be messed up due to the same scenario what I'm trying to replicate or share with you. Agree?
Yes, sir.
How to fix it? So to fix this issue, user or developer knows they used to give DBA request saying, okay, take backup or I need data up to 9 p.m. और 9 AM मीन्स 9 बजे जो टाइम है उस समय तक जो डेटाबेस में डेटा है वो मेरे को चाहिए इन डेवलपमेंट. What we will do? Everything will be same for EXPDP. Only consistent equal to Y. Means what? At 9 p.m., whatever data is available in production, backup of those data only will be backed up. But right now it is not happening. 10 बजे भी लिया 12 बजे भी लिया. Data will be entered into the production database, but when we will start taking backup, consistent equal to Y, at 9, if we will be starting whatever state of the database, at 9 p.m. only those backup will be there. So doesn't matter कि ये 10 बजे एंट्री हुआ है या 12 बजे एंट्री हुआ है, doesn't matter. Whatever was the status, it will take that only, not more than that. So by doing that, can we make our data consistent in development? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes. So that is the advantage of putting consistent equal to Y. Okay.
Before joining SHA, I thought that IT sector is all about programming. During the beginning of the session, I was totally confused and a lot of questions arise in my mind. But Upen sir listened to my question patiently and answered it. And because of that, now I got an opportunity to be a part of one of the most reputed MNC in the world. I just wanted to thank Upen sir, Sanjay sir and all the other members of the SHG team.